Hello guys, welcome to another episode on TNTG with Uzamaka Harrison. I know it's been a minute. I know. I was just working on my transition into another unit and trying to get a hold of, the new unit I went to. I'm now on I left from Med-Surg. I'm currently on psych. Yes. And I am so happy because of the kind of level of teamwork that I've experienced in my short stay or my short time of being on psych floor. Yes, I'm still in the same hospital where I work, which I won't mention. But why did I transition? I transitioned to psych because of the treatment that I have faced on my unit. I actually wanted to just be on my unit, then cross train on psych and just kind of pick up on psych. And as I keep, trying to see where I want my career to, head towards. However, it didn't work out for me the way I wanted it to work out. So I decided to completely leave Med-Surg. So these are the kind of, like I said in my other video, that the kind of treatment we immigrant nurses, Black nurses in particular, faces, it's horrifying. It's really appalling. And it's so shocking that most of this treatment, from my own experience and the people I know who are also immigrant African nurses, are mostly engineered by African American nurses. Even while I was a CNA or STNA, Ohio calls it STNA, right? Then you are just suddenly shocked because we all carry like Black placards saying Black Life Matters, supporting our sisters and brothers here in America. But when the reverse be, I don't feel like I'm treated like I belong. I'm not an African American, I'm Nigerian American, but I'm still Black. I don't see color. My husband is Caucasian. I never see color. I only see how you treat me. And it's very sad. Well, to my story, every day as a nurse on the Med-Surg unit I worked, every single day I come to work, let's assume I worked there for 365 days. Maybe about 350 of those days, I had the worst patients every single day. And then when I complain, oh, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. Nobody is out to get you. It's a mistake. What is a mistake? A mistake is something you do once in a while, not when it's more often than not. Every single time, literally. The doctors know this. The pharmacists that work on my floor, sometimes they come and hug me and be like, I'm sorry, why do you always have this kind of team? It's like the whole acute people on your team. It was painful. It was agonizing. Sometimes I'll run into the bathroom and cry. I'm like, Lord, why? And then, yes, sometimes I have to fight for myself. And because I would say that people here, or most people here, like you when you are quiet, you don't challenge some certain things, you accept any treatment. I'm sorry, it's not me. Like I have a very, very strong personality. I do. I'm very assertive. I love people. I don't see color. What I see is how you treat me. Like things happen on the unit, I report it to my manager. Oh, because we are allowed to come to report anything that's happened on the unit, right? And then they be like, oh, it didn't happen. When they call the people that did the same treatment to you, they all gonna lie. It didn't happen. And the witnesses are their friends. And I'm like, how do we solve this problem? And they always tell me, oh, when I ask people that were there, if they say it didn't happen, well, I'm just gonna trash it. And I keep saying, these people are all in the same cahoot. Literally all of them. The only people that really treated me nice on my floor are about one or two people. My preceptor, who doesn't really talk much. She doesn't like confrontation. But that lady knows what I felt on that unit. And she's Caucasian. Me and her still talked to today. She's a very nice person to me. As far as, working. None of us is perfect, but man, it came to a point that I had it. Like, I am the one who is being hurt and no one is taking it serious. That if I didn't have, like I said to myself, if I didn't have the Holy Ghost, or if I didn't have the strong mental health that I have, or the strong spirit, I would say, I would have been broken. These are the kind of things that pushes healthcare workers to commit suicide. Dying in silence. You are being quiet so that other people can have peace, but you are at war within yourself. At some point, I'm like, I can't continue. I'm gonna go crazy. So I started to confront. When I come to work and the schedule is not right, I'm not taking it. It's you have to redo it. I come to work, maybe we'll have about this or that occupation on the floor. If I have 5 patients, better believe me, I'm not exaggerating this. It's because I still work here. That's why I don't want to call the name of this company. And for the future of even if I don't work here anymore, I don't even want to call their name. Because I want people to just learn. I'm not here to tear down any business or anything. But then, like, you come to work and you look at your team. If I have about 5 people on my team, you better believe that the 4 people are very heavy acute patients. I've overheard some of these African Americans on my units, how they're going to give me like occupation in the morning because you guys have problem with I've never had any problem on my unit with anyone. This is only problem of do the schedule right. Don't try to give me the worst way because you think I don't have a voice. I can't defend myself. You have, man, you got something else coming for you, girl, because I'm going to challenge you. And then that my constant confrontation of why is this done this way? I won't accept this. I won't accept that made me a mean black bitch. That's right. All these things were done by the Caucasians on my floor, and the worst of it came from the African American nurses. And it's so appalling. Because you guys cry Black Lives Matters. And we follow you guys and cry Black Lives Matters. And in the end, when is the reverse, we don't even get the same treatment from you guys. I'm not the only Black immigrant nurse that's saying this. My friends experienced the same thing with me. Some of them even left because they couldn't take it. It was too much. And then the managers that we have there are just either engineering this directly or indirectly, or they just don't care. One of my managers would be like, we want you to do like a report inside the room. Okay, I'll go to the room, introduce myself to patient with the nurse, with the me as oncoming nurse and the outgoing nurse. And then we'll come outside to stand on the door to make to do the report. Every other single person is on the hallway doing their report. I'm the only one that my name is going to be yelled out on the hallway to go in the room. These are the kind of things I see. And you expect me to feel like welcomed? Okay, what broke the camel's back? Why I finally decided that I cannot continue with this back and forth, especially when no one, absolutely no one that is really up there wants to see things from your perspective. Instead, they try to see it from a perspective of what every person has built. Don't you people think that people can come together and go against one person, and that one person is all by themselves, and that one person is actually being truthful? It's not even about my case. You can be in a room of 10 people and 9 people can be in cahoots against one person, especially when you're different, when you're truthful, when you're by the book. People don't like you. Automatically, people don't like you. And it's fine. Keep standing on the truth, right? Everyone on my floor, if they are being honest with themselves, knows that one thing I do, I stand for justice. Even the one girl that tried to bully me one time, right, had issue the next day with someone. And I called the person and I said, what you're doing is very wrong. She was shocked looking at me. I don't care what you did to me yesterday. I treated what you did because I didn't like it. It was a bad behavior and I corrected you, even though you didn't take it the right way. And you went on and said what you guys said about me and reported me for what I didn't do or say. But the next day, I still spoke the truth because that's who I am. I am truth. Okay? But at some point, I'm like, I can't. where you have lost your joy, your peace in the name of a job. No, thank you. I'm done. For example, one of the things I can tell you right now is one of the days at work, I came to work, right? I already worked a previous day. And the general rule for most hospitals is, as a nurse, we do what we call continuity of care. We promote that. That means if you work today as a nurse and you come back tomorrow, then the team that you have today, you have to keep them. And they can, if any of your team have been discharged, they can add other people to you. But if all of your team are still on the unit, you still keep the whole team because you already established care with them. You already know them. And if you continue to work in that straight or a row, 3 days, 4 days, you still keep the same team. If they are still there, is why they promote continuity of care. You get to know them even much better. So I came to work like today, and then I went home the next day. I came to work. And then, as usual, they took one of my patients and gave to someone else because I'm the only one they can try to do that too. Right? Other people, you didn't see other people that you could take from, but you always taking from me. And then, giving me an admission every single day. And I'm like, no. Every single morning I come to work, I always start with admission. How fair is that? And then they told me, oh, because you're the youngest nurse on the floor, right? Then later on, we had 2 nurses who were newer. That means I'm now older than they are, right? But I still will be the first person that start admission every single morning. It doesn't matter. And when you talk, it is what it is, Uzo. Just forget about it. Our report has been done. You can't do anything about it. I get like PD patient, HD patient. At some point I just ignored and started I saw it as training myself, learning skills instead of seeing it as anger, pain, and hurt, because I have come to realize it would never change. And it's never going to change. It's not because those nurses cannot be controlled. It's because those people who is in their power to control those things are not doing anything about it as far as I'm concerned. Because if you're doing something about it, it should have stopped by now or reduced. Instead, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Is it because we really don't matter? I don't know. But back to my story. So they took one patient from me, and that means I have 5 patients now, 5, and they took one person from me, and then I'm going to get admission. That means I have 4 patients from yesterday, and I'm going to get 1 admission. And then the new nurse that joined us that day, she didn't work the day before, had 4 patients. That means she had like 3 patients and they took 1 from mine and gave her to have 4 patients. And then I have to have 4 with a new admission. And I was like, why would you do that? She can have 3 patients with 1 admission, that's 4. And I can have my 5 patients back. They said, no, you should have 4 and then do an admission. That is the right thing to do. You that is listening to me right now, pause and think about this. If you're not a nurse, you don't need to be a nurse or you don't need to be in the healthcare to just assume. Or maybe if you're in the healthcare, you better have an understanding that how is it possible how is it fair? I would say fair for someone that has 4 patients to take 1 admission coming in than someone who has 3 patients to take 1 admission coming in. These are the kind of things that every single person on my unit that day saw it as the right thing to do. And I'm like, this is the right thing to do? This right here, right now, is the right thing to do to you? I said, no, hell no. We are not doing that today. Not today. It's not going to happen today. And I was serious. I'm like, call the managers, call the manager of the managers, call the owner of the hospital. I do not give a damn. But I need them to come and look me in my face and tell me that this treatment is, I've had it. Like, this is so glaring even to the blind. And you're going to sit here. I said, no, this is it. This is the height of it. These are the things that has been going on, but at least this one is so glaring that everyone can see that wants to see it than the other ones that I have to prove I said, no. And when I took my patient back and I said, you get the admission. For me as a nurse, the way they have treated me, I always have the worst patient. So I'm used to taking very strong team and I handle them well. Doing admission for me doesn't take me like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm done with it. Skin check, everything, make sure everything is cool. But I won't do it just because it's not the right thing to do. You are not treating me right. Then I told my manager, oh, I want to cross-train on site. He was like, oh, you can go and cross-train. That's fine. He gave me the number. And I went and connected with the lady. And then when it was time for me to train, he told me we didn't have enough staffing for me to go and cross-train anymore. I said, why? But you told me about 3 weeks ago I could. You gave me the number. You introduced me to the lady. Why all of a sudden? Mind you, in the 2 weeks, all I needed was 3 days of the schedule in 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks schedule time, we had 7 nurses with 2 PRN nurses coming in. Our normal unit of flow is always in the morning is 6 nurses. So having a 7th nurse is a plus. Talk more of when you have the 8th and the 9th nurse. That's in excess of nurses. We have only 29 beds. Literally, they're going to sit down doing nothing. For 2 weeks in a row, we had 9 nurses and you could not take me out for 3 days in those 14 days to go and cross-train. I felt like maybe the boat manager already, had a conversation because the assistant already came back, who is the major problem I'm suffering on that floor. Probably they had a conversation, probably she refused that I'm not leaving or, told him what to do as usual. And then probably the story changed. I don't care and I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself because I don't want to talk to you guys anymore and then argue or try to explain why is this being done to me. I already know why it's being done to me. So we don't have to have that conversation. Because I felt like the more I talked, the more they twist my words, and keep making me look like the worst and the worst person. So I learned to be silent. And I told my manager, I'm just going to pick up an extra shift to train. Some people heard it. I'm like, what? Girl, no, you don't do that. Go and report them to the HR. Go and talk to the HR. I'm like, I don't want to go the HR route. I don't care. It's fine. I'm sure by now they should have heard my name in one of stories or the other. Nobody has ever called me. So at this point, I don't know who to trust. I don't even know. I just want to just do my job and go home. That was when my mind zeroed. I'm done with this unit. My whole body, my spirit, every part of me shut down. I'm done. So I started looking for other unit to go to. Thankfully, I went to psych. The manager there was very nice to me and she allowed me. I picked up like 3 days extra, which I had to pick up like extra shift to go and train on psych. So I went there and I trained. After I had done my training, I started to pick up there from time to time. She would call me, give me some shift to, pick up. And then I'll go there. From there, an opportunity came up. Because when you're in somewhere, you know how things are happening. Well, she liked me and I told her that I want to really completely move off the site. If she had an opportunity inside that I would like to take it. And she said, okay. So I applied. I didn't get it because 2 people who have more seniority than me, because my hospital would do by seniority, got the position to day shifts. I just kept praying to God. I was like, God, you know that I'm done on this unit. If they push my button just one more time, I might lose my job. And I've never lost any job. I've never been fired from any job. Instead, I will quietly just put in my 2 weeks and I go. Once I'm at peace, once you give me a job, I'm like, I would do the job you want me to do. I'm very thorough with my job. It makes me happy to take care of my patient. It's not even because, yes, I get paid for the value I bring, which you can't even pay any nurse for the value they bring to the job. Right? But I'm so happy within me just doing this job. It makes me happy. I'm good. Most times on my units, they forget I'm a new nurse. That's how good. I learned through the process what they try to turn into wickedness for me, hate, maltreatment. I turned it into training and learning of skills. That's how I was able to survive. And then I kept talking to God, please, God, I'm done. I might just as well leave this hospital. Let me just go. I'm not saying that the other manager I had on Med-Surg was totally completely bad. My manager, my day shift manager, he's a good guy. But sometimes being not liking confrontation, being kind of, would I say, laissez-faire kind of manager is not always good. Where anybody can run you. And maybe that's where the assistant manager comes and feel like she's running the whole show and she's just treating. It's glaring to me that literally she's a racist. The way she treats me, my other African immigrant, the way she talks. Like, for me, she has not openly really given me like rude conversation. Because my face alone on at work, you wouldn't even try. But for those ones who are just like quiet and the way she will call them out and just be like, you can't even, how do you call a nurse out in public and embarrass even if he's not even a nurse, even if he's a cleaner, call the person out in front of everybody and just embarrass somebody like that. It's really appalling. And then they get to keeping their jobs. No form of, maybe, I don't know, no form of correction, or because if you're telling me you're correcting these people and they're coming back and still continuing, that means you're not correcting them. You're not giving the right correction that needs to put them in real check to see how they treat people. Anyways, as I continue hoping on the Lord, right, He made a way for me. Somehow I was called by the HR saying that one of the nurses who wanted to go to day shift on psych says she doesn't want to go anymore. Do I still want to do that? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What? Yeah. Where can I start? Like, where can I start? Can I start like right now? And I took the opportunity and I ran with it. Some people try to tell me, oh, you don't have to leave. You're going to make everything right. I say, since I got here on this unit, you guys have been trying to make things right. But not even for a second have you guys got anything right. There is no teamwork. Nobody cares. The techs come to work. Most of them don't do their job. They have the ones that do their job. They sit on their phone, watch movie from the time they got into work till they leave. Some come in there drunk. Nobody gives a damn. Until one finally got caught up, like she was so drunk to the point that she was just misbehaving. And one of them reported her during the night duty, I heard. Like, your job. And then one of the time I tried to confront one of the nurses, he was like, well, if you don't go clean the nurse and the patient and take care of the patient, if he falls, it's going to fall on your license. Can you see the kind of mentality they have? And I reported this. Nothing was done about it. Like, literally, you are telling me you are intentionally ignoring to do the duties while you are employed to help the nurses. That really shocked me. So now, as a nurse, you have to be the tech and be the nurse. And some nurses do it. At some point, I did it. At some point, I'm like, no, you have to do. No, if it falls, let's all go to court then. This is your job. You have to follow why you are paid. You are nurses tech is because you are helping me. Just like I'm helping the doctors too. If the doctors comes down here and ask me some question about the nurse, the patient, and I'm going off talking crap, or ask me to do some things, I carry an order or orders, I'm not doing them. Like, how does it even make sense? So it's a constant struggle. I know it's not only my hospital that I work in that people experience this kind of things, but this is just me trying to pour my heart. Like, so when you are trying to become a nurse, really think, where do we want to go? You really have to develop strong spirit, strong mental health as an immigrant nurse, or as someone who is easily bullied, whether you are pink, black, yellow, red, or whatever, but you are the kind of person that you are easily bullied. You need to really, really rethink and have a deep thought. You have to sometimes confront. Confrontation is not being dramatic. It's saying no to unacceptable treatment. Sometimes you have to. And sometimes I'm like, because it seems like you never win. So once I got that opportunity on psych, whatever they were doing, I didn't care. If I come, they give me the worst patient, I just did it. I don't even care. Because to me, it's just a matter of time. My days are numbered. All of a sudden, they all knew I was leaving. Everybody decided to be extremely nice. Oh, don't leave. This and that. I'm like, hello? All of a sudden? No, I'm not a fool. I'm not staying back here. I'm out. I'm really out. Maybe it's going to be worse on psych. You don't know this. When I get there, if it's worse there, If it becomes sweet at the beginning and then in the end it becomes sour, I leave. And I'll keep living until I find the place that is good for me. I'm not stuck. I'm not going to be stuck in one place. No. It's just like when I was working as STNA, I kept moving from one company to another company until I found a telecare agency. I started working for them. I felt like, oh, agency was good for me. I go here. If I do work for you, you try to start your drama. I leave and I go elsewhere. That's me. A job is, no, I don't let job to come and cause me chaos. No, you will not give me chaos. I worked hard to get here, and I'm working hard to maintain this position. So I'm on site now, and I'm so happy. The teamwork alone on site, I was shocked. It was like I was living in a different world. When people were asking me to help me or trying to do things for me, even without asking me, it was becoming like, it was so weird to me. I'm like, are you sure? Are you really, really sure you want to do this for me? Like, I was like, huh? Mind you, they are Caucasians. Some are black nurses. And we have one African American nurse there. So I don't know. So you see what I'm saying? It's not all Caucasians that are bad. It's not all African Americans that are bad. But majority of them that I've run into have treated me so ugly. And it's unfair. Do not let this my video upset you. I just wanted to share this with you so that you will think before you want to go into the healthcare system as an immigrant nurse. Know when to talk. Know when to be quiet. Just like you gotta be able to learn these things. When to speak. When to be calm. When not to speak. There was a time they called me into an office, reported one person did and did and did and did. They asked me, what do I have to say? I said, nothing. Why? Because I'm already judged before I even came. So what's the point? That's how I said it. Because at the end of the day, what I say doesn't even matter. You're going to take what they said. So why waste my time and my energy? Do whatever you want to do. I'm not afraid of being fired. I'm not. I'm not afraid of being fired, but I don't want to be. I've never been. Instead, I leave. So my friends, this is how I got my new position. I am so thankful to God. And I pray that I will continue to enjoy this teamwork. I really love the team. I'm not asking for friendship. I'm asking for teamwork. When we come to work, let's work together and help our patients. It's going to make it easier on the nurse. It's going to make it easier on the patient. And everybody is going to also make it easier on the techs. But when the techs are not doing their jobs, you're putting every weight on the nurse. And then the doctor brings their own weight. Boom. How do you expect that nurse to remain the same? So if you're a tech, please try and be diligent in your job. I was once a tech. No nurse or anybody that will see this video and remember me will say I've ever given them a tough time as a tech. What I don't like is just too drama, gossip, all of those things. Yes, Nigerian Americans are most of us have strong spirit. Before you judge an African person, get to know them. Stop believing what you have heard already on the internet about people. Know people, because if I believe the things I've read about Americans, both black and white, I wouldn't even be associating with anybody. Talk more of being married to one. My husband is Caucasian and I love him to death. I see humanity. I don't see color. So if you're watching as a nurse and you're that bully, I beg you to stop. Not everybody is built like me or other people. Some can actually commit suicide. If you're a tech who bully nurses or bully your fellow techs, stop, because some people can commit suicide because of, you might think it's just job, trying to be mean, trying not to do your work, trying to put everything on one person. Just stop. If you're a manager, you're not doing what you're supposed to do because you're afraid of being confrontational, because you don't like to be confrontational, or you don't like to just quit the job and go. Let someone who is assertive come and take the job and get it done. Or figure out a way you can get it done without making people's life a mess, especially for the voiceless. and you, the manager, racist, take care of yourself and just stop. Just you, the manager, quit it. Do your job. Your job as a manager is to manage human resources first. Figure out a way all your teammates can work together. Stick by your word and stop gossiping with people that you are sent to manage. You gossip with nurses, you gossip with techs. How do you want people to even respect you? But some of them on my floor will be like, I want to be on the good book of our manager. I don't want to be your good book. I want to be in the right book and the book of justice. That's where I want to be. Doing the right thing to the black, to the pink, to the white, to everyone. That's the kind of book I want to be in. That's how I want to be remembered. So guys, I'm done with my just short story of how my whole Med-Surg saga went. So do not be afraid. You can do this. You just have to figure it out. Okay, I love you guys. See you guys on our next episode. Bye bye for now.